Good morning and welcome to this second video covering Russ-Tech Sales newsletter for 2017. This one is in specific coverage of the March-April newsletter, and I'll just be going through a few of the different things that are new for Russ-Tech Sales. First thing I'd like to show you is a series of extrusions from Central Rubber Extrusion. They are a extruder out of Highland, Illinois, and they're a brand new line for me. And as you can see, they do colors, they do durometers, they do all kinds of different shapes. Some of these actually may have tooling that they already are tooled up for on their own. So if you go on their website, you'll find there's a long list of profiles that they have as standard off-the-shelf profiles. They do short-run extrusions, so they don't have to specifically, get you 5,000 feet or something. They will do 50, 100, 500 feet. It depends on the material, depends on the durometer, depends on, there's always some dependings. They have a CNC machine for making their corner molds when they do splicing, and they do a lot of splicing. They also have an EDM die burning machine that burns all of the dies for the company, so we control that in-house, which is really important. They also do, and you can't really tell from this, but they also are doing sponges. We extrude both EPDM and neoprene sponge, and so if you're looking for sponge extrusions, we can help you with sponge. The larger things that they can do right now would be pieces this size and that size. Their extruders are mainly a 2.5 inch and a 3 inch extruders. That's their main body, and we'd be interested in looking at any kind of extrusion that you might come across. So that would be Central Rubber Extrusions out of Highland, Illinois, just across the river from St. Louis. Thank you. The next thing that I'd like to talk about is McAllister Mills out of Independence, Virginia. McAllister Mills is offering a couple of new things this year. They basically have just lowered their pricing on a lot of our fiberglass and some of our silica materials. Basically, we went out and worked very hard with the fiberglass yarn manufacturers in order to come up with a better price. We had been buying from several different places, and last year they grouped it all together and they had everybody bid on the total tonnage that we buy of fiberglass yarns. And so what that did was greatly drive our price down on the material. At the same time, we've been working diligently over the last about 3 years improving the efficiencies of our looms and getting them to run faster, which gives you, faster is cheaper. To give you an idea, some of our tapes are going down as much as 34% in this new price book that'll be coming out just in the next week or so. Well, a week or so. This is first of March, so you should have received it or be receiving it very quickly. Some of the things that I also wanted to highlight was our mid-sill product. Mid-sill is actually a new technology. This is just a sample of some of the mid-sill that they've got. This is a 1350 degree fabric. It is not silica and it's not just fiberglass. It's a special blend of silica and fiberglass. The material will take up to 1350 degrees. It is exclusive with the people at McAllister Mills. This is a blend of the materials that we've come up with on our own. And so if you're looking for something a little higher temperature, I just thought it would be nice to kind of highlight some of the things that we do with that are different than everybody else. This is another product that we've just come out with, and this is really hard to see what you're doing, but basically what this is our aluminized ricochet fabric, they call it. And now this one's treated on both sides, and basically what we're doing is we are hot metal casting right onto the fabric. Everybody else in that industry basically goes out and uses aluminum foil with some PSA on it, and they stick it onto the back of the fiberglass. That's fine unless you're really getting up into 1,000-degree temperatures, where eventually that what do you call it, PSA will dry out, and then you have a problem with failing. It'll also, the ricochet will fabricate very nicely. As you can see, you can bend it and fold it, and so if you're trying to make a fabricated part out of it, or a cover, this stuff will handle that flexing much better. And we offer the product treated one side or both sides. This is just another one. I can't, well, you're not really seeing it, but it's got a beautiful mirror finish on it. And but again, this is very expensive next to the standard foil product, about 3 times the price. But in applications where the foil product really doesn't hold up well, this is going to do a much better job. So rather than sell them the same thing and be fighting over the same bone with just who can get it the cheapest, try some of our specialty fabrics, because those are something that you can sell, and they're exclusive to us. This again is an exclusive product for McAllister Mills. The other thing that I'll show is our Russ-Tech tapes, and also Russ-Tech fabric. Now the big advantage to Russ-Tech is that it's pretty much pre-shrunk. We actually weave this product directly out of silica yarn. So instead of leaching it, which is what most manufacturers do, they run it through an acid bath after they've woven it out of fiberglass. And that gives you a weaker product, a less temperature resistant product, a less abrasion resistant product. But with this, we actually get the silica texturized yarn and weave it. And one of the advantages, it takes the shrink rate down to about 2% on our product, on the Russ-Tech, versus the other leach product, which that has about a 15 to 18% under temperature shrink rate. So that can be really huge if you've got, you know, something that's inside a blast furnace someplace or whatever. We can make expansion joints and heat shields and, you know, curtains and all kinds of things out of this product. This again is extremely expensive. We do also offer the leached product, and we're pretty competitive at that, but this is unique to us, and this allows you to go out again and sell on something that other guys don't have. So so that is the Russ-Tech product, and when you see the word Tex on our Maxil silica product, that means that it's been woven directly from the yarn. The next thing I'd like to talk about is Thermodyne's tank strip. Now this is a 2-inch wide rubber made out of neoprene. It's high tensile strength, 1/8 inch thick, with holes already pre-drilled into it. We stock them in 100-foot lengths, and it's usually used for man-way doors, great big tank doors that you get where they're bolting them back on after they've done inspections or cleaning of a tank. They also are used on the belly of the railroad cars that are doing handling of bulk handling materials, you know, salt or coal or whatever. And we stock them in Houston and also in Ohio, in the new Sylvania, Ohio warehouse. And so if you're looking for those items, we do have it available. It's a good product, and we've got a lot of it in stock, and we can ship it right off the floor to you. So remember, tank strip. Next item would be Diversified Silicone / Rogers Corporation. As most of you know, Rogers has purchased Diversified about the 1st of January, and The thing that we're trying to get across to people is that Rogers is planning on running this operation as a separate operation, without as seamlessly as they can. They bought us because we're extremely successful. So the question is, can I still buy 1 yard of silicone sponge or solid silicone or fabric inserted silicone? The answer is yes. We're going to maintain that minimum order. We're going to, we've been having some problems with deliveries. That is simply because of the volume of business that we've all of a sudden been hit with. And so our deliveries are out, but we are looking at hiring more people, bringing in more equipment, and trying as hard as we can to get back to the original deliveries, which were a week to 2 weeks. Right now we're running 4 to 5 to even 6 weeks, and I know that's causing some pain and some suffering for some of the distributors, but we're working as hard as we can to get back to a 2-week lead time. That is a goal over the next 6 months. Next up, I'd like to talk about urethane covered rollers from Bailey Parks Urethane. You know, Bailey has been doing that urethane roll covering and wheel covering for quite a number of years. And so if you're looking, I'm going to put this down because it's a little heavy. There we go. If you're looking for rubber urethane covered rollers, they can help you. We can do up to 26 feet length. We can do 24-inch diameter on the small stuff. We can also do up to 52-inch in OD on narrower width rollers, Muller wheels for the sand casting industry, for the forage industry, stuff like that. Anyway, we offer all durometers, all colors. We do a full manufacturing of cores, so if you get a customer that says, well, I got 4 of these and I want to have 4 more made, you can actually send the prints to us and we can make the roller itself in our shops and then turn around and cover them with urethane. But they don't make just rollers for roller's sake. They always have to have urethane covering on them. They don't want to get into the full roller manufacturing business. That's not what we're here for. We're there to sell the roller. Or sell the roller cover, I should say. And we don't cap our rollers. Some of our competitors will go out and they'll take, maybe it's a 2-inch thick cover on something. They'll grind it down to 1 inch and then they'll take and recap them. That cuts down on the price, but it also gives you a lot of issues with that cover will eventually start breaking down and you'll end up premature failure. We actually will strip it all the way down to the steel core, and then we'll repair the core if there's damage to it, although you will be billed for the repair. If there's a bent shaft or something, all that stuff has to be cleaned up before we can chuck it and clean it. And but we'll strip the cores, and then we'll cast the urethane back on and then regrind the face, and we can do a lot of specialty faces, herringbones and things onto those faces of those rollers. And so if you're looking for urethane covered rollers, Bailey Parks can help you with any kind of a roller from small stuff up to very, very large. And so contact us for your roll covering. Next item I'd like to talk about is Thermodyne's Viton caulking by Chemours. Remember, it's no longer DuPont, it's now Chemours. We sell this Viton caulking. It's good to 450 degrees and impervious to about 95% of the chemicals used in industry. One of the big industries we've had some success in is actually sealing the joints in the industrial floors in plants against groundwater contamination. The new Groundwater Act came out 3 or 4 years ago. Declares everything, including soapy water now, is a contaminant, and you can't just let it, kind of seep down through the floor of your plant. You actually have to get that sealed, have some sort of secondary containment basin, that kind of thing. We have a excellent caulk. It's very expensive, but it will go out and seal those joints. One of the places that I've thought it would be an excellent place is sealing between the asphalt and the cement filling centers in all of your gas stations. Wherever they have a crack, if the gasoline leaks someplace, somebody overfills or whatever, and it gets on the ground, it goes to a crack, it goes down into the ground, they will actually, EPA will come in and make them dig all that earth out, and they have it all specially treated, and then have to redo their asphalt. That's the reason why when you pull up to a gas station, at least up in my area, it always has a cement refilling, and then outside of that cement you'll find it turns to asphalt. And the reason why the cement is because they feel that it won't break down the asphalt, and the gas won't start getting into the ground. But we have the Chemours Viton caulking. We've got it as a coating also, where it can be painted onto surfaces and make that surface basically dries up to about an 85 barometer Viton surface. So you can use it in places where there's maybe chemical attack onto sheet metal or something in a plating operation, or a pickling area in a steel mill. You can paint this on, and it'll armor plate that metal from corrosion. The last line I'd like to talk about is Textiles Coated International, specialists in PTFE coated tapes, fabrics, and films. They are now in the PTFE coated tape business with PSA on it, something that we've been working on for several years, and we now feel that we're ready to start being able to offer the customer shipments when he needs it, express service. This would be our bronze tape, and I've got some larger samples here of different kinds of tape that we're doing. 3 mil, 5 mil, 6 mil, 10 mil, 14 mil, all with PSA on the back. That's the tear strip for the pressure sensitive adhesive. The typical applications, all of your heat sealers, band sealers, all of that kind of stuff we're looking at. Our tapes are a little different than everybody else's, because what we're doing is making a high tensile strength film and then laminating it onto the face of the fabric. And what that does is gives you a much harder, much more durable surface. We've had good success in the vinyl window industry, several other industries, where they're starting to come back to us and say, why does your tape last so much longer than the traditional PTFE coated fabrics? And the reason being is that we make these very, very tough PTFE films. This is actually another one that we call a hybrid. I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but this is, it's got a texture to it. Yeah, you can see in the shine there. This is pure Teflon, or pure PTFE, with an adhesive back on it. And basically what it does is it gives you a very, very strong product without the fiberglass installed in it. And we are working right now, our engineers are working on trying to get us the Teflon, or the texturing on this is because of our manufacturing process, and they're trying to get it so that it could be absolutely mirror smooth. They still have not perfected that process, but they're working on it. So that's Textiles Coated International with their PTFE coated fabrics and tapes. And we do run some Teflon product in our plant, so this would be the reminder that Teflon is a trademark of Chemours. Used to be DuPont, now it's Chemours. And we do run some Teflon products, but we also run PTFE, so we're just truth in lending, we're giving you both of those. Anyway, thank you for taking a few minutes with me today to take a look at some of the products. Hopefully this has been educational. If you have questions, call the plants directly. If you have orders, quotes, all of that goes directly to the plant. If you have problems with something going on that you need help with as far as the product, call me or email me. Email is always the best way to get hold of me. But anyway, thank you very much, and hopefully I haven't put you to sleep. I will warn you, my videos will cure insomnia, so you know, if you're having a problem sleeping, this will put you right to sleep. And everybody wake up, come on, it's time to go. Talk to you later, bye.